Well, well, well. Marc Vandermeer, Drew Doherty here with Texans merch. Merch
Merched
galore.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, you're wearing a new Texans hoodie
H-Town Blue.
in the H-Town blue. That's a little darker, maybe. We'll get into it, okay? I am wearing this sweet jacket. This came from the Texans team shop, and it's never going back, by the way, because I am taking this for myself. I will pay for it. I will.
My lips are sealed. Yours are too. It's just the three of us, so it's all good.
Yeah. Just among friends here.
Yeah.
But check this out. Check out this sweet jacket.
It's amazing because think about this process and how long
Yeah.
it took. You know, the Texans began in 2002. They've had the same uniforms. In that same span, the Rockets, the Astros, they've redesigned. So have the Dynamo. Texans have stayed the course, been the same. The only major change, the red helmets, the battle red helmets that came 2 seasons ago, with little tweaks along the way. You had the color rush here. You know, you had the switch over from Reebok to Nike, but
they
nothing
put the
major.
logo on the jersey somewhere at
In the
some
back,
point.
yeah, but-
at some point.
Okay.
It was in the teens, but very minor. This is the new helmet. I know it looks, and look, people are watching this on their phones or wherever. It might not look that different in the color scheme, but trust us, it's much darker than the other blue. In fact, when the Texans originally unveiled the colors in 2000, this is a couple of years before the franchise began play with Bob McNair at a big event downtown. This was the original deep steel blue, but then it went lighter. But now we're going back to darker deep steel blue. So this is your deep steel blue helmet with the jersey, and I know it's very dark, and in some videos it's going to look different than others.
Yeah.
It's going to look awesome on the field. I think that's where it has to look the most awesome, right? Where you're playing games at NRG Stadium in this color, basically your home uniform, and it's going to be fantastic.
It was pretty cool. You and I, we didn't go there on the same night, but there was a 2-night shoot. I was there the first, you were there the second. But the players, there was a core group of players that were getting photographed, getting videoed in the different uniform combos. And the excitement from those guys was pretty cool. And it looks, we could look at this now, and it looks cool, but it's different when you see it on a player. And it's different when you see it on a player in a warehouse with fog and smoke machines that it's going to look on the field. And I just little nuances, like the alternate H helmet, which we're going to talk about that in a moment, but there's little red flakes in the helmet. You're going to see that on these up-close HD cameras when you're watching it. It's going to look really, really cool.
On TV, it's going to look fantastic. Now, on this video, you might not notice those subtleties, but look at the battle red helmet with the horns. And Cal McNair talked about this, Greg Grissom, Doug Vosick. They all talked about how in those fan focus groups, fans wanted a little bit of everything, right? There was some traditional, we want to modernize, but we want to hold on to the tradition. And then there was a group that wanted something completely different. And how do you satisfy everybody? Well, you have 4 different uniforms.
You don't.
Well, you don't. But
that's the key. Like, let's time out this. Okay, there's 4. We know you have your favorites. We know you have some that you're like, that's okay. We know that. The Texans know that.
Yeah.
They recognize there's something for everyone because some wanted, bold yet traditional. Some wanted no change, really. And then some wanted to get wacky and go out there.
I think the horns were a big thing, though.
Yeah.
We want to see some horns in some way, shape, or form. Well, you have it on the battle red helmet right now, and that is a cool-looking red with the red jersey that you see. So it's still deep steel blue, battle red, Liberty white, but in different ways. And this battle red uni, trust us, when I saw the players wearing these, I thought look, you have so many different things to talk about here, but that alone, battle red day or days or however that's going to go, and that's a whole other thing. When the schedule comes out, they will not announce what days they're wearing what unis yet, but that'll be another day unto itself when they release all that. Like, play the Ravens. By the way, this is my vote. Play the Ravens wearing that, the Alt H.
The Alt H? How come?
I don't know. I just feel like it looks so badass.
Yeah.
And you want to be at your badass best when you're playing the Baltimore Ravens. But maybe they do that against the Titans for reasons that just evade me right now. But I love the battle red. So, all right, let's talk about the alt, the big H.
Yep.
And they talked about the H. Remember, there was an H unveiled prior to the 2022 season. It was a different kind of H, but people swarmed to get a hold of that H. Now, this H is going to be in hot demand.
We're proud of our city. You and I, we're different than each other. You and I, whoever you are watching this, we're way different than each other. Everyone, though, is bonded and has a pride about being from H-Town. And they want to lean into it. The Texans wanted to lean into it. You brought up focus groups. It wasn't like 2 or 3 focus groups of 15 people, and then a group of about 6 people from the organization took those results and said, "Okay, let's do this, let's do that." Thousands of people, probably you probably in some survey or some focus group, you had an impact in what we're seeing now, what we're going to see on the field. It's the most fan-inclusive uniform redesign in the history of the NFL.
There's no doubt. In the history of sports, maybe. I'm not sure about that, but in the NFL, absolutely. It's been transparent, and there's been a lot of coverage of the whole process, and here are the results. Now, this is just some of the stuff right here.
Yeah.
We don't have we don't have a player
surface,
dressed here, and there's a lot more merch, but you want this jacket, don't you? I know you want this sweet jacket. The Liberty White jersey, that leaked a few weeks ago.
Right. One
of the models or whatever it was, there was a leaked photo. Cal McNair went on Reddit, put out a better photo of Tank Dell and Nico Collins. And then somebody on social media somewhere, and I don't know where to give credit for this, Derek Stingley Jr., there was a photo of him, Photoshop of him wearing the Liberty White, the road jersey, if you will. And it was so good looking on a real player on a real field. I don't know. They did amazing Photoshop work, but it was basically the jersey. And I thought that looked phenomenal.
And keep in mind what you saw from the leak. Strictly head on, not everything. I mean, there's stuff on this. There's accents on the side. There's stuff on the back.
Inside collar.
Yes. I mean, H-Town blue, the color, is in every collar of these shirts. I mean, there's a high attention to detail. Like we said, you were involved in this because these focus groups, they got down to the stitching. They got down to there's a chrome face mask on the battle red helmet. I mean, there were so many different things that fans had input on, and they synthesized all of that, and this is the result.
Yeah. All right, so back to the alt. I just think they're going to sell so many gear items with that H on it, that color. And this is a color that has existed in Houston basically from the get-go. Those street signs on the curb with the H-Town blue. The police cars, the city flag itself is that color, H-Town blue.
Yeah, that's 1836.
Yeah, we know there have been some other things that color as well, believe me. But NASA as well. It's just beautiful, and it's great to have that as an accent to the rest of the Texans' traditional colors. So I think, there is something for everybody. You covered it all with this array of stuff that you have here. And I think there's two worlds too, Drew. There's gear and there's what the players wear, right?
Yes.
Because gear, you're going to see D'Amico Ryans in the dry fit, his staple look. He can wear that battle red Nike dry fit that he's always worn. It's kind of like his Bum Phillips hat, his Landry hat. That's kind of his calling card.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I
would
believe
say
that.
so, yeah. One season,
I think
sure.
that's his look, and I'm eager to see him in that. The red is it's a deeper, brighter red. Did I describe that properly?
Yeah, and you bring up a really nice point there about D'Amico because he said it a week or so ago to the media. So you guys have been talking about to players. You guys have been wearing the same stuff I was wearing.
Yeah,
it was basically like you guys were wearing hand-me-downs almost. They've got their own new uniforms now, so it's a new era. Think about it. Teams change pretty frequently. Texans over 2 decades did not, and now they have.
I have decisions to make because, see, my Texans world, I don't wear a uniform, okay? I wear the polo a lot, though, at Texans events and golf outings and things like that.
You got a lot of new options now.
And check this out. It's got this logo to me, all right? This one right here. This logo is not the main logo, but this logo is going to fly off the shelves.
It's got a lot of neon to it.
Check it out. It is smoking hot.
And you've always been partial to the satin jackets. You've been rocking the satin jackets before this one. You had another one.
I actually have one. You're right.
Yeah.
People accuse me of wearing a Yankee jacket, but it's not.
No, it's a Texans.
No, now I'm going to wear this one. All right. There will be no doubt what this is about. But stuff with this logo is going to absolutely crush it. And then if I'm wearing a golf polo and I got this H on the back of it, forget about it. This is terrific. And then you have your more traditional Texans polos as well. Now, the traditional Texans logo that you see is a little different because, again, the red is brighter and the blue is a deeper, darker blue.
Right.
Am I using the word deeper enough? I don't know.
It's closer to navy blue.
All right.
I suppose you could say.
I feel like this is QVC of Texans merch, but what the heck? All right, now check this out. This is what I'm going to be wearing, when I'm around town with the exposed midriff, because this is my look, Drew, okay? I've got the abs. I know you can't see them right now, but it's just like washboard under here, and I can feature it with this. Now, I'm all kidding aside. Look, the blue's a little darker, red's a little brighter, all right? Awesome gear. Now, the Texans, this looks like, hey, isn't that the way it's always been written? It's a little different. It's more streamlined. It's modernized.
Tweaked, totally, yes.
Tweaked in a good way. Improved. New and improved Texans.
I just can't wait till the first time they're on the field for a regular season game at NRG Stadium to see what it looks like. It's gonna be jarring. It's really going to be jarring.
And they've gone through the whole process. And when they originally launched, they went through the process.
Yeah.
There are stories of Bob and Janice McNair and Cal at Rice Stadium. They went to Rice Stadium, and they had models or athletes wearing Texans uniform samples running around on the field to see what it would look like from the stands. That was part of the process then. This process has been even way more elaborate when you talk about all the focus groups. You're into 4 figures of people that have seen different types of uniforms to weigh in on what was going to look good, and not just the uniforms, again, the merch. Look at those hats.
What did you think when you went to the shooting of that, when you saw the players, a few weeks back when they were on top of the what was your reaction? I mean, you weren't involved in the process the first time around. You've seen it up close and personal.
I have.
Here, and then to see it come to fruition, and what was that like for you?
It's funny because Vanderkid was asking me, Dad, what do the new uniforms look like? And he's got a deep voice now. And I said, listen, I've seen so many different versions of what they might do. I don't even know what to tell you. They're going to be awesome. Whatever they pick, it's going to be awesome. And then as they started to hone in, and then I go to the event, the unveiling event it was a private deal for company people. They did some stuff for the media, and that's where something leaked out with one of the models. Anyway, when I saw them on the mannequins, I thought, very cool. When I saw them on the players, because Johnny and I interviewed Will Anderson and Tank Dell and Nico and a bunch of the guys wearing the uniforms.
Right.
They would sit down. It was like a training camp interview, except they weren't practicing, but they're in full uniform, head to toe, and they looked smoking good.
Yeah.
Like these guys are ready to do battle, defend their AFC South championship, go above and beyond where they've ever been, wearing this stuff. And I'm not just giving you the hype here. This stuff just feels electric being near it.
The Battle Reds really leaped out at me.
Yeah.
Really leaped out at me. I interviewed Tank and Nico and Will Anderson while they were wearing those, and it's jarring when you see it in a good way. And it was really, really cool to see it. I can't wait to see it. The shots that we'll see on TV, when they're in the huddle and, CJ's under center, and they're going to have the close-up on him as he's scanning the line. You'll see his eyes. You'll see it's going to look awesome.
That's what it's all about, right? When we see the Texans in person at NRG Stadium, when you watch them on TV, when they're on the road, when you're listening to them on the radio, because I'll change my delivery for the new colors, okay?
Oh, wow, okay.
New and improved delivery as well. Just
Teaser.
Audio will reflect the colors. Somehow I'll pull it off. All radio's in color, by the way. But in all seriousness, it is going to be so noticeable. Obviously, it's going to be noticeable. But I think with the team, as well as they played last year, as well as they hope to play this year, wearing this stuff, come on.
I can't
Let's
wait.
go.
It's a brand new era, and I think we're entering the golden age of the Houston Texans.
We'll look back on it as the golden age someday.
I think so.
Yeah. I want this age to last a long, long time, by the way. Anyway, there's some of your merch. You got these jerseys, which are available at the Texans team shop online as well. Go to HoustonTexans.com. It always has all the information on where to get merch and how to find out everything you need to know about your Texans, including ticket information on how to see the guys wearing these, defending their AFC South championship, and trying to win playoff games at home. Let's go. Thanks, Drew.
Thank you.